So yesterday you had a call from a gentleman who had just installed his new multi-level marketing water ionizer and he was not happy. What happened?
Well, he actually rang us up the previous day and was trying to find out how to get rid of fluoride because he was told he would be given a filter that removed fluoride, but in actual fact he never got it from them. And then what was it? Oh, I've forgotten.
Oh, he had a problem with the tap, didn't he? His system didn't, the ionizer he bought didn't fit his tap.
Yeah, but I mean that's not that important.
Thing.
But he started to get a bit pissed off because he felt like he'd spent a lot of money on something that he wasn't getting what he was told he was going to be getting, because the energy gets very expensive. And it was a very old model too, a very, very old model, wasn't it? So,
well, actually, it wasn't. It was a thing that they call their entry model. And so he only paid about $1,600. He could have paid $6,000. But you know, the problem with multi-level marketing is that people are selling a business opportunity, and they're not very good at the product. They don't know enough about the product. And one of the things we've heard is this thing about fluoride. They say, oh, because it ionizes, the fluoride goes out with the acid water, never giving any test proof of that. It's just not true.
I think there's a bit of a thing going on that all the toxins go out of the acid water as well. I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
But that's not true.
It's not true.
It just splits the water into two, and some of the acid minerals go out the acid line, and the alkaline minerals go out the alkaline.
Yeah, and there are, by the way, toxic alkaline minerals too. You know, so
you do need a very good filter.
You do need a very good filter, which obviously, and we know the filter they have, they've gone and bought approvals for it. You know, you can go out and buy an approval from Water Quality Association, people like that.
Doesn't really mean
basic.
Much. Yeah,
It means it's basic.
Yeah, it works. That's all.
It works.
It works in a sense, you know, because you can just take out chlorine, and that will be enough for the Water Quality Association. It depends on what you're actually having them tested for. To have it tested by the Water Quality Association would be have to be very extensive testing. But anyway, this guy also told us that his filter was only going to last him 6 months. Then it came
$160.
And they were $160 each.
Oh.
So then add that to whatever other things you want to be able to pre-filters you have to put in. It's going to add up to a lot of money. That's why.
So you hand him over to me.
I did.
Thanks a lot. No, he was cool. He was just very confused because he was a pretty smart guy and he'd done his work. The first problem was that the connector to his tap didn't fit, and he was upset. He had to go and get a new tap. Well, the truth is, our connector probably wouldn't have fitted to his tap either, because there's many new taps around. They've got funny threads.
Loads of taps.
Yeah, our Easy Flow that we've just patented is probably going to get, we hope, is going to get over the majority of those things. But that wasn't the point. So he asked me. He said, "All right, so here I am. I've got this thing, and I've been told it gets rid of fluoride, and now I don't think it does. And now I'm told that I've got to buy an extra filter to put on front of it, and I wasn't told that before." And I said, "Well, do you want good filtration?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Well, you're probably going to need 3 extra filters, not 1. You're going to need one for chloramine, you're going to need one for fluoride, and you're going to need one for heavy metals." So you've now got your water ionizer on your bench, your wife's precious kitchen workspace, and you've got 1, 2, 3 pre-filters.
With no hope of ever putting it under the sink.
No, never put it under the sink. Won't work under the sink.
No.
So yeah, very interesting. So he said, "All right, tell me all." So I told him our story, how we had sold electronic water ionizers for 12 years. We'd sold thousands of them. We knew them inside out. We were Australia's leading water ionizer specialists. We were the first in Australia. We actually introduced the whole alkaline concept in Australia. Not blowing our horn, but that's who we are. And we always realised that the filtration of the electronic ionizers was basic. Rudimentary. It's a carbon filter. That's all it is. And you can go over to a big box store and you can buy one for $25.
And that's all they supplied us with.
Yeah, and they weren't interested in supplying anything else. At one stage, I asked our manufacturer if we could add KDF, heavy metal stuff, and he said, "Yes, Mr. Ian, you can do that if you arrange to send it from America to us, and you pay all the duty and look after all the customs, and then we'll put in your filters." And thanks a lot. You know, it wasn't. It appears that the electronic water ionizer people are really not interested in good filtration. They're water ionizer people. So you get the basic thing, and then they come back and they sell you all these extra filters. I worked out the cost of extra filtration, you know, to bring it up to the standard of the UltraStream, and it's $300 or $400 a year. It's massive. That's not the major thing. I said, have they talked to you about molecular hydrogen? He said, about what? I said, molecular hydrogen. He said, what's that? I said, it's H2, 2 hydrogen atoms in molecular form infused in water. No, I haven't talked about that. I said, so they've talked to you about alkalinity? Yes. They talked to you about microclustering? Yes. I said, well, I need to sort you out about those first. First one, alkalinity. Water from a water ionizer is not true alkaline water. Alkaline water is a glass of water with alkaline minerals in the water. That's alkaline water. And electrolysis increases the pH of your water, but doesn't necessarily alkalize the water because it hasn't got any alkaline minerals to work with except what's already in the water. Now, luckily and unluckily, as you'll hear later, for many people, a lot of areas in America, Europe, Middle East, not Middle East, Far East, have a lot of calcium in the water.
Yeah, but then let's think about rainwater. Lots of people who put their water ionizers on rainwater tanks.
Yeah.
And what they have to do is they have to put something in their tank in order for the actual unit to work.
Yeah,
because
like
there's no minerals in
Celtic
rainwater.
sea salt or something like that.
Yes, we used to have to tell people to put that in there so it would ionize.
So an ionizer needs minerals to work at all, but it also does not create pure alkaline water. Now, I said to the guy, look, take a glass of the water from your ionizer and take another glass of water from your tap and add some calcium carbonate, if you like, to your tap water, and then get the pH kit that you got in your I assume you got one with the ionizer. Put it in both and see what colour it goes. Let's say it goes nice, healthy, purple. Now get a little bit of liquid vitamin C, a couple of drops, and put in both. What will happen? Your water from your ionizer will turn acid straight away. Your tap water with your calcium carbonate will not. That's because it is what we call buffered water. It has a storehouse of alkaline minerals in it. Yours is unbuffered. It means it is only a pH count in the water. It's not real alkalinity, and therefore it doesn't have the ability, which you've probably been told it has, to change the pH balance in your body.
Not in that way.
Not in that way. Okay. Now, I hope that's not too technical because it's a really important point. Second one, microclustering. They tell you that the microclustered form of the water means it will penetrate far more. Not true. No science to prove it.
No such thing.
No such thing. The reason we have this wonderful silken effect when we drink ionized water is that we have a little pH meter in our mouth. And the pH meter in our mouth is forever checking what's going into our mouth because it's trying to protect what's happening down in the stomach. In the stomach, we may be undergoing digestion. Okay, so we've got acid in there and we've got bicarb, etc. We've got this little mix going, chomp, 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 chomp. The body tries to keep that going as well as possible, and if it detects something that's too alkaline that's coming down, it will open the pyloric valve of the stomach and the water goes straight through. Now, that's what people experience when they say, "Oh, it's better hydrating."
Wow,
it's
amazing.
going straight through the stomach.
Yeah.
I can remember drinking tap water and bloating every time I drank it.
Yeah.
My whole life.
Yeah.
Why would I drink this stuff? It makes me feel terrible.
Yeah.
Drink alkaline water.
Well,
It's totally different. Now, another test, they show you how
alkaline, it's not ionized water.
real alkaline water, it can actually trick the body.
It tricks the body.
It says, I'm high pH.
I'm
You've got
high
a
pH.
pH meter in there, you haven't got an alkaline meter. It's
That's
funny, isn't it?
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, so
just like a
yeah.
pH meter.
The other things they do to show you how good their water is, they'll infuse tea and show you how fast their water infuses. Well, alkaline water does infuse better. That's all there is to it. If you put
pH.
If you put it into
IPH.
coffee,
Oh.
high pH water.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
They'll use it with a certain sort of oil. They'll say it's cooking oil. It's actually sesame oil. It's the only one that does it. and it will break up the oil. So yeah, sure, but it's not alkaline water. Okay, microclustering doesn't exist, not true, bunk. Okay, great sales myth, because who's going to dispute you?
Huge concern that, you know, when people get this really high pH water that looks like it's very high in alkaline minerals, people get very concerned because they've been told all sorts of stories about using really high pH alkaline water made with minerals. It's not the same.
No, it's not at all.
It doesn't do that. And the idea that it's going to affect your digestion is absolutely not true either.
Exactly. We've never seen it. Okay. So I said to him, do you know about molecular hydrogen? He said, no. He said, tell me. Okay. I said, well, look, we sold these things for 12 years. We knew nothing about molecular hydrogen. We repeated, just as your multi-level marketing guy did, what our manufacturers told us, that it was alkalinity and microclustered and ionized and negatively charged, right? The truth of the matter is that electrolysis produces, as a byproduct of the electrolysis, molecular hydrogen. That's H2, so your water gets infused with hydrogen. Now, they never talked about this, ever.
Because they didn't actually know.
No, the whole machine wasn't even designed.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah, they designed the whole machine in ignorance of the fact that molecular
what they were actually
hydrogen,
producing was hydrogen.
So something really funny happened. A young guy that we got to know and support, Tyler LeBaron, he's a biochemist, was invited to the Energic office. He went in and they asked him to test their machines. What he found was, these are the machines that were in the foyer passing out water. He tested it with a molecular hydrogen test kit that he'd brought back from Japan when he went over to study molecular hydrogen. No hydrogen. Why was that? What we worked out was that unless the plates in the electrolysis chamber are scrupulously clean, of the electric water are scrupulously clean, you'll get high pH, you get high AWP, that's the other thing they talk about, oxidation reduction potential, you get that, but you won't get hydrogen. And it's the hydrogen that is the beneficial ingredient in the water.
And there's so many studies to show that and prove that.
Exactly. Now, the other thing about hydrogen is the higher the concentration you get in your water, the better the effect. It's a bit like having 1 aspirin and nothing happens, and you have 2 and everything happens. It's the same sort of thing. So as the plates on your ionizer accumulate this minuscule amount of detritus as a result of the attraction in the water, of attraction of sediment, etc., in the water, because your filter is pretty basic, all right, it starts not working. And you know, the common thing you say, I just got my new ionizer, my God, I feel terrific and I had this amazing health change. Yes, you're getting hydrogen, now you're not.
Because it's dirty and you're not going to get the hydrogen involved.
Exactly. So it ends up, and remembering an electronic ionizer wastes approximately half the water in acid. People say, yes, I use it all, but they don't.
No, we know that from 13 years of selling them.
Yeah, so you're wasting a lot of water, and then you're asked to do a 20-minute cleanse, which you have to do
to keep the plates clean.
To keep the plate clean every couple of weeks.
Right?
Well, maximum, more like every week.
Minimum, yeah.
20 minutes of running the water through it, not even using it to keep your plates clean. So the concept is old. The concept
Which might
is
or
out of date.
might not work, I might add.
Exactly.
Depending on how much calcium is in the water.
That's right. Oh, yes, the calcium in the water. Well, let's talk about that for a minute. The basic design flaw of the electrolysis system is that it can't handle calcium. That's why they have these auto-cleans, okay? Some ionizers are much better than others at it. The one that this guy had bought from the MLM was not one of those ones that's much better at it. What happens is that calcium accretes on your plates. And you can say, yes, I do an auto-cleanse, but calcium, you've seen it in coral. It's like coral. It gets as hard as a rock in there. So it doesn't get out easily. That's why when you buy an MLM one, you've got to send it off for a deep cleanse, as they call it. You pay to send it off, and you pay for them to do it, and you pay for it to come back, right? More money on top of the filters.
And, of course, something to drink for the time that it's away.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, you know, you'll always get thousands of people saying, I absolutely love my multi-level marketing ionizer. The reason is they're selling it, okay? And as a multi-level marketing ionizer, or as an electronic ionizer, it's a good one. nothing wrong with it, but it is what it is. It's like saying...
It's good in the sense that if they didn't know about hydrogen, then it was fine, because it was still creating that negative ORP water and pH. Alkaline. But it wasn't creating the molecular hydrogen after it was used for a while.
And frankly, a lot of people who buy their ionizers for $4,000, $5,000 and $6,000 drink the water because it costs them so much.
Well,
and because they're drinking the water, they're feeling better.
That works. Well, and drinking water works. Just
drinking water does
works.
work. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Molecular hydrogen is a whole new thing.
It is, yeah. So these units were not designed with the aim of creating maximum molecular hydrogen. We went back to the drawing board, we went to America, we got the best filtration experts in America to recommend the best filtration media we could possibly get. So I can honestly say our filtration is at least 4 times better than water ionizer filtration. It is fabulous filtration.
Yeah.
I read
all in the one filter.
All in the one filter. And then we've used a special Japanese media which we call Adobe, which reacts with water to create very high molecular hydrogen. In the test against the MLM1, ours came out almost 4 times as much hydrogen. Yeah. Absolutely incredible. And you know, it's $209 a year in Australia, maybe a little bit more in other places, for a filter change. You change the filter, you change the whole thing. You got a new unit because you've got your ionizing media and your filtration media in the one thing. And it's simple.
There's and really, to replace it, as we've said, it probably costs you $400 to $500 to replace the filtration media that we've got in the UltraStream. If you did it with a single cartridges for each one.
Good point. Yeah, the way that they'd suggested this poor guy did it. Anyway, he bought one straight away when we told him all of that, because he realised that it wasn't that he was conned. It was that the person who sold it to him really didn't know enough. Yeah. And, you know, we're lucky. We're around this every day, and therefore we do know enough.
I mean, as I say, we do have a lot of people, you know, ring us up about IPH and the water, because, you know, because our UltraStream, you can't actually, you know, do different settings like you can on electric water ionizers. But I say, look, don't worry about it. This is not going to affect your digestion in any way. It's not harmful. People can't believe this until I just explain to them that, you know, this is not the same kind of alkalinity that you would normally get with high mineral alkaline water.
Yeah.
But it's you know, any fluid, you have a lot of fluid while you're actually eating. It's not such a great idea, because it just dilutes your acid in your stomach. You know, keep it to a minimum while you're actually eating. But there's no problem. We haven't in like 16 years. You know, people with digestion have actually got better. My digestion's better. And if there's any problems with digestion, then I suggest that there's more going on in your body, and that needs to be addressed, because you know it shouldn't actually interfere in any way. Well, it doesn't interfere with anywhere with the digestion. No. And the water, man, you know, when you start to see what's coming out of America, now we find that millions of people in America are drinking high lead content, high cesium-6 content water. That's tragic. It is tragic. UltraStream. It does absolutely. It. Electronic ionizer? No way. Won't do it. No. And don't be fooled. They'll tell you that, you know, it all goes up the acid water. Ask for the test. Ask for the test. Ask for the test. We decided not just to test it as new, we tested it all the way through the filter. It's the only ionizer in the world that's done it. 3,600 litres through it. It's the only ionizer in the world that's been approved by the European safety standards. There's nothing else like it. Now, a last question. If you're a huge corporation selling thousands of electronic water ionizers and telling people, well, you're doing really, really well, why don't you do life of filter tests? I'll leave it to you to answer that one. Yeah, why not?